What's that one thing you've discovered about your husband that you didn't know in the years you've been together?
You know, I was cracking a joke about this, but I really think so. If when my daughter grows up, and if she ever needs my opinion as to, she's like, Mama, what kind of a man should I marry? And if, God forbid, there's another lockdown, and I hope it never happens, I'm going to tell her, marry a man who you can survive a lockdown with. The other thing I learned about Angad is he's very inconsistent with his choice of food. So he'll just be like, lunch mein mujhe ye dena, and then suddenly that's on the table, and he's like, par ye kisne manga tha? And I'm like,
So lovely talking to you. How have the past 5 months been for you?
I have to say that the past 5 months have been quite interesting. You know, it started off with a huge amount of fear because you have this little baby at home and you're like, you know, what's going to happen? And as a mom, like the first thing that goes on in your head is just this. It's like, you know, I hope everything's okay with my child. Then you get into routine and you start enjoying it. And as much as people are like, what have you done? Have you caught up on this? And, you know, all the things that I thought of that, oh, when I have time off, I'm going to do reading and I'm going to chill and take this time off. I've done nothing, none of that. So that is one part of it. I did try, like, I didn't have any skill set in the kitchen. So I just tried to improve a little bit of that. But after a point, I felt like I got bored of that too. And it was just me, a lot of time at home and family, and just getting into, I love the routine because we've never had a routine.
True.
So waking up, spending time with Meher, then, you know, when she's gone in for a nap, exercising, then she wakes up again, the evening walk. So yeah, I mean, we had a routine and that's what I loved about it. That's it. But a lot of fear, it comes at a very big price. So, you know, obviously you want to be like extremely careful for yourselves and, you know, for everyone else around.
And how's Meher taken it with both mom and dad at home? You've been with her like constantly. Yeah. But what has it been like for her? I mean, having everybody at her beck and call.
That's what it is. She's a little bit of a brat, you know. It's like everyone's at her beck and call. My husband, who doesn't listen to anyone on any given day, it's always like, it's fine. I know I can handle it. But the minute she says Papa, he'll be like running behind her, and she knows it. Like, you know, it's like she knows she can get away with everything, but I'm like trying to get like order and routine and, you know, discipline and all of that. And it's also my 4G genes, because the sooner they learn, the better. But there's a lot of like, if she does like one dance step, then all of us, as cute or as silly as it may be, but it's just because it's so innocent, so then we also do all of it, or like, you know, whatever. So I feel like she's a child, she doesn't know better, let her just have fun.
Awesome. It's just so precious having them around, and they're very good energy. Kids and pets, they're really great energy to have around.
Yeah, we don't have any pets. We have lots of pets in our house in Delhi, but we don't have any pets here because, you know, of space restriction. But apart from that, yeah, it's been okay. Like I said, like I always say, that if you've been safe, your family's been healthy, you've been fine, just count your blessings right now.
I so agree. And work from home, no filter, work from home edition. What was that like?
Oh my God, it was the craziest thing. I do not enjoy work from home at all. It started off with this idea of like, hey, I wanted to work from home and this is amazing and I can do it all by myself. It's not true. You have a team. I mean, I do have a team. They're all working on the back end, but it's not like, you know, they can be here. So whether it was a photo shoot, whether it's an interview, whatever, it's like I have these ring lights fixed in different rooms. I just have to press on and run from one room to the other. And, you know, you're not working from home. You move your office to your house. So there's no out time, right? True. It's like, it's the equivalent of like, you know, taking your child and your husband and putting a bed in your office and being like, okay, move here. So there has to be work from home also has to come with very strict like rules and regulations about, you know, take your weekends off or take time off, or like, you know, nothing post like this time of the night. It's like, it's not like office band ho raha hai to hame ghar jana hai. So you don't have that time True. Off. But having said that, I had no idea that we could have an entire season of No Filter Neha from home. We've done it. I got a huge amount of encouragement from Rishi Malhotra, who's, you know, one of the co-owners of Jio7, and he was just like, if you want to do it, we have a huge amount of audience that is willing to hear these conversations. So let's go ahead and do it. Just have fun. So that's exactly what we did.
And what about your guests? What was it like for them? See, because at home you have a baby and everything is going to be scheduled according to her waking hours. You know, is she asleep, her feeding time? What was that like, managing your schedule and your guests?
I have to tell you, the guests have been pretty awesome. Not only have they agreed to come on the show, but they've also, I requested everyone. I was just like, between 12 and 4 is my prime window. So can we please do it then? Because I have a child at home. And everyone, whether it was Saif, whether it was Kapil Dev, Saurabh Ganguly, I just finished recording with Pankaj Tripathi. All of them across the board gave me this time slot in the afternoon. And they were like, and I was just like, yes. But, I feel like kids are also so intuitive that she knows that, here's mama's trying to figure something out. And so now this whisper talk has become a game for her. And then this mic with that little foam, like that filter, is something that she wakes up and then she loves playing with that mic. And the ring light.
I saw that post of Angad and her.
And that ring light is the moon. So she's like moon and mic, and it's too cute. But there's also the truth behind it, right? You're in this overpriced, undersized Bandra apartment. For a lot of people who don't know what Bandra is, it is the most expensive suburb in all of India that you can live in. And it's ridiculous. So like one side we have an open kitchen, so it's like bartan ki awaaz and cooker ki siti ki awaaz, and the other side there's like a toddler, and then my husband, I mean, I can't blame him, right? Eventually he's just like, there's an ishara, like he'll open the door and he'll be like, stop talking, I have to go. So all of this madness goes on, all of it. Like I remember in the middle of it, I can't remember which recording it was, and I've ordered fish, and you have to pre-order on Monday and it arrives on Friday, and they're like, the guard is coming in because obviously those guys can't come up, and they're like, wo machi ka paisa dena hai, and we literally have it in the recording, and we were like, it doesn't end.
But it's not easy, yeah. Wife, mom, and a working, lady. I mean, it's not easy to balance it all, and you're managing to do that perfectly.
As are you. I mean, as are all of us, right? So the hustle is real, but we're not in it all by ourselves. And, I always say this, behind every working woman, there are many working women.
True. It is true. It is so true.
Yeah.
And, I remember speaking to you last, and you were very keen to have Saif on the show. You managed to manifest that.
Yes, I did. And, I was just really, really excited about having Saif Ali Khan. It took me 5 years, half a decade is how long I waited for him. And he's here. And I just asked him the reason why he hasn't confirmed till now was because of the fact that, he just didn't want to go anywhere post shooting. So after pack up, he just always wanted to go home. But whatever the reason may be, there are pros and cons of this at-home edition. And a big pro is that a lot of them agree to do it because they don't want to be leaving the comforts of their own house. And I am encouraged because even next year, if we have another season, I don't know, but if we do, then the chances of me doing this from home, not booking studios, we've all learned, right? Yeah, we've all worked on our weaknesses. My big weakness was tech. I've figured it out. I've learned. So it's been great.
And also, as a host, you know them personally as well. It's been, 2 decades in the industry now? More or less?
2 decades.
Yeah, 2 decades. So you've worked with many, you've known them personally, and some are acquaintances. Then how do you get the candid conversation out? Because sometimes, I can't cross that boundary, but you're a reporter at that moment. You also want to know those things. How do you do it?
Puja, I always correct everybody who thinks or who says that, who says that I'm like a reporter or I have a journalistic point of view. I don't. So the way I approach a conversation is, I want to bring out the human side. I want to be very protective towards the guest I'm in conversation with. And I want to do this because I love a light-hearted conversation. So I'm not here to make news. I'm not here to make headlines. I'm here to have a great conversation. Now, whatever comes out of it and whatever gets picked up is a part of it. Even in the press con, like a few days ago, we had our virtual press con, which is very interesting. And someone asked me, they're like, how are you different from a journalist? And you're a talk show host, and the job that you have at hand is far more difficult, I feel. Like you're trying to have, or a large part of you having a conversation, and I may say this because I've been in the business half my life and I know what it's like, is also to get a valid headline. I don't work towards that. I want to have a great conversation that has laughter, it's lighthearted, and always, like me and my team, I always tell them that it has to be the human side of it. So if you're in conversation with Kapil Dev, cricket is going to be one of the many things we discuss. So if you're in conversation with, say, Badshah, music is like a point where you just touch it and come back. Or, when I was talking to Harbhajan when he was on the show, that, you know, it was just friendships that he spoke about. So it's always a human side and not so much as to what are we expecting? Like Saurav Ganguly, I mean, he's the president of the BCCI, and, you know, talking about bio bubble and IPL would be important, right? Most people would think, but that's one question we touched upon. But it's about his life and, you know, about, you know, how he was raised and what cricket meant to him. And you know, maybe it's the larger picture, maybe it's the human side, maybe it's the smaller picture, but it's different from what you do.
Which was the one guest who really surprised you? Really surprised you?
Like this season?
Yeah, this season. Who, I mean...
Rana.
Wow. Wow.
Rana Daggubati and Saurav Ganguly were the two people who really surprised me. Like, I was fangirling throughout the conversation with Saurav Ganguly. Like, it's the voice of the captain. You've heard this on your TV screens. You know, we all had multiple TV screens even when we couldn't afford it while we were growing up, because our fathers always, or our brothers always wanted to book that one TV set out for cricket.
True.
And, you know, it was, I still have chills, you know, thinking about the conversations we had with Saurav Ganguly and the things he said. The other person who really surprised me was Rana Daggubati, because I thought this is going to be a fool, I was going to say cool, I said fool. It's just a cool banter between Rana and me. But, you know, he's just sort of such a huge sort of techie, and I'm not going to say like a geek, but he's so like he spoke about all the cool stuff he did for his wedding, and, you know, what he's doing and how he's, you know, taking the business forward. And it's just, it's another aspect of Rana that I'd never sort of, you know, I met him socially, but I had no idea. So I was totally taken by surprise, and lots and lots of laughter and fun.
Has there ever been a moment somebody said something and, you know, inside, you know, I mean, that's not what I want to hear. That's not the truth. Has there ever been a moment like that?
Yeah, when a lot of them are like, chalo ho gaya, abhi time up and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I want to hear. But our conversations go on for very long. And I know I have to talk lesser. I know that.
Oh, I mean, and you know, it's amazing, Neha. I saw you in Tumhari Sulu, and I saw that lovely movie, that short film that you did with Kajol Devi. It was just so lovely. And I heard you in an interview saying that, you know, after motherhood, it's the general thing that they think that, oh, she's aged. Now senior acid roles milenge. Do you think now the narratives are going to change with the OTT platform? A lot more young writers and talent coming on board. And Neena Gupta, look at her now. She's just like defied age. Totally.
She was on the show. She's, you know, Puja, on the contrary, I feel that, of course, she's done all of that. But she had to also go through her struggle when she had to put her post out on social media. Tell me which male actor has done that? No one, right? And if you're going to say, do they put you in a box? Of course they put you in a box. Of course they put you. There is no doubt about that. Like, it's just Joe Kaam Kare. We just recorded with Pankaj Tripathi. He's all of 43. He's played so many father roles, and he's younger than most actors who are playing college boys. So, true. Of course, you get put in a box. Does it happen with men in the business? No, it does not happen. Is there room for improvement? Of course there is. Now, the last thing I did, I got an award for it, and, you know, whether it's Tumhari Sulu, or we got like lots of love for Devi, and it was just a short film, but whatever. I'm very proud of the work that I associate myself with now, because, you know, after becoming a mom, you just get this instant kind of, my value and my self-worth has also gone up in a big way, because I'm just like, it's got to be bloody good for me to like leave this beautiful, innocent being who's all of me and wants all of me at all times. I mean, initially I had done a lot of work where I was like, oh, let's do it because it pays the bills. Let's do it because I get to travel. Let's do it because it's a great role. These are reasons why you do something, right? And it was very exciting in my 20s, but not anymore. And ever since I've become a mom, it's like, it's appalling, the kind of stuff that I get cast in. And then sometimes they're like, oh, you have to play this one, this. And I'm like, but yeah, I look younger than this person who you're getting.
And so, probably younger than the person too.
And probably younger than the person, but it's fine. This is what they want to do, but I'm going to define what my self-worth is. No one else can. And that's something I've learned. Like, hats off to Sush. You know, whatever you want to say, she was gone for a decade because that's the path she chose. She was ahead of the curve in every way. She's raised these two beautiful girls. She decided, you know, a lot of people say decided to take a break. For all you know, she wasn't getting the parts, or she was getting the parts. But then she's come back with this amazing show called Arya, And she has defined what her self-worth is. So there are parts, and there's a lot that's changing with OTT. But even with that, does it change the minute you become a mom and you're like sort of taken into this category, oh, abhi mom? But I don't have a problem playing mom parts. I don't have a problem playing any part that's offered to me. But am I being put into a box? They are trying, but I'm also not doing any work because I don't want to be put in that box.
Absolutely.
But the minute I feel that there's something worth my while, I'm going to jump at it. I am that person.
And you know, it's amazing. I've known you since you were a teenager. I mean, we go back a long way, Dhola days. I know. And then Miss India happened, and then the films happened. What I like about you is your confidence and your sense of self-belief. You stand by it. But do you think in the day and age that we are living in, honesty is the best policy, and being so strong with your comments? Because with film stars and with your industry, it's like whatever you say or you don't will be held against you.
So then there's nothing you can do. It's just like, you know, it's that, because it's like they love to kind of, what's the right way of putting it? Like everybody likes, because the business is such, and Indians and India loves movies and you know, actors and actresses, and they're very passionate and they want to have a point of view, and they love having a point of view about their actors and actresses, and that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. And you know, if you say something or if you don't say something and they have an opinion about it, it's fine. But when they get negative about it is when the problem starts. And you know, those guys are called trolls, and I don't understand why anything like I was in the line of fire sometime back when I took up for someone who was saying something about domestic violence. And, you know, I took up for this girl who was a victim of it. Whereas I was being trolled because, you know, I was, you know, the guy was like, but she cheated on me with 5 other guys. And I was like, whatever the issue is, you cannot hit someone. And I got trolled for saying that. And they went on to abusing my parents and my family and my friends and all the work I've done. And you know, me, of course, like there's no end to it. My child, I don't get it. How can you go out there, abuse someone's child, or abuse another woman, or give someone a death threat or a rape threat and type it from your PC or your Mac or your phone, and then turn it off and go out and share a meal with your own mother and sister? I don't get it. I don't get the mindset.
I don't either, yeah.
So my point is that in a few years from now, like everything else in, say, the 90s or in the 2000s was acceptable, and saying, oh, iske bare mein baat mat karo, let it be, ignore it. In give or take 5 or 10 years, it's getting there. It's going to be an offense. So people have to stop. Sooner now than later, because, you know, 10 years from now, they don't want to be like, they're probably in their 20s and their 30s. They don't want to be a part of an offense. They don't want to be pulled up for that, because someone is going to tell them that, listen, this is it. There is going to be a law against it. There are accounts that are being banned. There are people who are being pulled up. There is an uproar. If there is a huge part that is raising a voice and being negative and trolling, there is a very large voice which is going to be amplified. It's only a matter of time, which is going to be against these people. And that voice is going to be infinitely stronger, whether it's people with a mind or whether it's the press. And I'm hoping you guys lead the way. Instead of, I've seen so many headlines, this one gets trolled senseless for saying this. Why are you encouraging the trolls?
And those hashtags, everything is a hashtag. But
yeah,
one hashtag
journalist a day, make it your job to pick one troll a day and shut them up. Because you guys have the might. I'm telling you, you have the strongest pen out there. You have the biggest weapon in your hands. You should make the difference.
I get trolled very badly as well. And I sometimes just want to block them. And one thing I really like...
Block them, shut them up, ignore them, whatever. But I'm just saying that you got to come out and talk about it, because it's not okay.
So agree with you. And I like one of your hashtags is strong women support strong women. And I asked Swara the same question. Forget about the men, women against men. It's sometimes women get other women down. We don't support our tribe. Why is that? I really can't wrap my head around it. I can't wrap.
I don't understand. And I just feel that trolls is one thing. And it takes me a lot to react to a troll. And I had to, because they were going on my friends and family. But when it happens with people you know, then you're like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, I mean, I know what you're getting at, but nobody has the right, or nobody's entitled to judge my friendship with anybody. You don't know what it is. I mean, I've had, over a decade long friendship with somebody, and you don't have the right to come and say anything. And if you want to, then I will turn around and take up for myself and my friendship.
I so agree with that. It's just also generally women, women calling out to women, which is not nice. You're seeing it unfold. It's happening with your fraternity. It's just this mindset needs to change, and hopefully online abuse and trolling will end. But on a lighter note, this lockdown, what's that one thing you've discovered about your husband that you didn't know in the years you've been together?
I was cracking a joke about this, but I really think so. When my daughter grows up, and if she ever needs my opinion as to, she's like, Mama, what kind of a man should I marry? And if, God forbid, there's another lockdown, and I hope it never happens, I'm going to tell her, marry a man who you can survive a lockdown with.
Actually true.
Yeah.
Couples are getting on each other's nerves. I mean, actually.
But with us, it's fine. We give each other space, and we're okay. And then sometimes I look at him and I'm just like, really, best decision. Like, if we have, because, you go and you come back. There's no going away and there's no coming back, and you're just with each other. And then, there are days that you're like, what do we do now? But it's fine. We were just vibing on like the kind of stuff we want to watch on TV, bonding with our daughter, just doing stuff, dividing duties, working out. It was great. So yeah, that's the one thing about Angad. And yeah, the other thing I learned about Angad is he's very inconsistent with his choice of food. So he'll just be like, lunch mein mujhe ye dena, and then suddenly that's on the table, and he's like, par ye kisne manga tha? And I'm like, okay. So I'm just not around when he starts eating. When he's halfway through, I arrive.
Lovely chatting with you. And since you manifested Saif, now who's the other guest you're going to manifest? Because you just
I don't know. This year, later, sometime, I want to be in conversation with Shah Rukh Khan, and believe it or not, Diljit Dosanjh.
Well, I think it's going to happen very soon. So till we meet again, maybe we'll be discussing that conversation.
Thank you. Lovely talking to you.
Lovely chatting with you. All the very best, and keep doing what you keep doing. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.